Hi everybody, looks like we're live. Day four. Day four of my live streaming. So I'm still in the habit of going down and checking on a different device to make sure I'm actually live. So I'm going to run down there in a minute. Only because the first couple days it said I was live. And I noticed nobody was coming in or going, not even one person. And so I jumped on another device and I realized I was in a horizontal live stream. So I'll go check, make sure this is working good. It should be. I think I figured out. And that was also on my laptop when it was sending me in as a horizontal. We need to be on vertical. Shorts live stream, they call it, to do this type where you get more of an audience. So I'm going to go check that device, and chances are only a handful of people will ever see this footage right now because they have to go back to your channel and look in the live section to find this and watch it from the beginning. So most of this getting said right now, other than a handful of people, probably never going to see. So I'm going to get back to the sanding. I sanded yesterday about half the room. I saw I missed a couple spots. I'm going to hit them and then reposition the camera. I'll try to keep it live when I have to reposition to do the other side of the room. I got to move a few things around you can't see. So I'll be right back and get started. All right, looks like we're good and rolling. Feel free to say hi if you're in the chat. I'm going to get started, so I'll have a mask on. I won't be doing a lot of talking. Yesterday, my experience was, out of 5 or 6 lives I've done now, standing by far drew the least views, no subscribers, no likes. probably pretty boring for people to watch. So, and just a tip on these live streams, unless you have a build-up audience, they normally don't just come filing in right away. When you got a lot of people, you can set a time to go live like in 2 hours, so they know if they see you in their YouTube feed that you're going to go live in a couple hours. So, hi Camilla Bruno. Hey, how's it going? Got a couple people coming in already. I'm just going to be sanding drywall. It's good to see you guys. Oh, we got another one. Yeah, quite a few coming in. Hi. Feel free to subscribe. I'll be on later in my weight room to talk and just engage better. I'm about to get sanding here, so I'll have a mask on. Just to share a helpful tool real quick I like. So I bought this on Amazon. It's a cordless air gun. So it was like $70, but it's propelled by a little mini turbine on the back. So like example, I'm going to put this mask on. That's covered in dust, so pretty convenient. And like up on the top of the window frames, up on the ledge, if you have debris up there, it'll blow it right off there. It's pretty strong actually. So we got one saying, say my name, say my name. Can't even pronounce it, or I would. I'm sorry about that. Something about we're boys. So, trying to I'd advise to strive to become a man at some point. Everybody came in and jumped out. So feel free to subscribe and I'll be back on later to talk. I'm going to get started here. So I know this is boring. I hate it just as much coming up here doing this stuff. So I got to get through it. I need 1 or 2 more days of sanding and I'll be able to start painting this room and getting it together a little bit better. So thanks everybody that came in and said hi. Hope everybody's doing good. Normally when I'm up here working, I put on some type of motivational. So, and if I see a comment, I may stop to acknowledge it and say hi to everybody. I like Jim Rohn quite a bit.
You're ahead by now. You have to train your mind to stay in your own lane.
Jim Rohn, I forget. I think when he died, he was worth a few $100 million, and he went around doing a lot of motivational speeches for people before he died. This is the one I had on yesterday.
Others have to fight for every opportunity. But in the end,
I've still got a half hour. I'll go ahead and pick it up where I had it yesterday.
So. Where you end up is your own
effort. Hope everybody's doing good.
Discipline, your own mindset. Instead of comparing yourself to others, compare yourself to who you were last week, last month, last year. That's the only comparison that matters. Are you better than you were before? Are you growing? Are you improving? If the answer is yes, then you are on the right track. And if the answer is no, then it's time to step it up.
Get a fresh screen put on here.
Someone else is doing, but because you owe it to yourself to be better. You have to stop measuring your success based on someone else's journey. You have to stop feeling bad about your progress just because someone else seems ahead. You have to stop letting other people's success make you feel like you're failing, because you're not. You are on your own timeline, and your only job is to keep going, keep growing, keep improving, and trust that as long as you are doing that, you are exactly where you need to be. There will always be someone ahead of you. There will always be someone who seems to have it easier, who seems to be moving faster, who seems to be doing better. But that does not mean you are losing. That does not mean you are not enough. That does not mean you should doubt yourself. It just means that their journey is different. And that's okay, because at the end of the day, success is not about being better than someone else. It's about being the best version of yourself. And when you finally understand that, you will stop wasting your time comparing, and you will start focusing on what really matters. Your own growth, your own progress. Number 4, make a decision and stand by it. There comes a time in life when you have to make a decision, a real decision, not just a thought, not just an idea, but a firm decision that says, this is it. I am going all in. And when you do that, everything starts to change. The problem is most people never truly decide. They hesitate, they second guess, they tell themselves maybe later or I'll wait for the right time. But the right time never comes because they never commit. They never say, no matter what happens, I am sticking to this. If you want to change your life, if you want to succeed, if you want to move forward, then you must learn the power of making a decision and standing by it. Not for a week, not for a month, but until you get the result. Because that's what separates those who win from those who stay stuck. The ones who win are the ones who decide and never look back. They don't entertain doubt. They don't waste time wondering if they made the right choice. They move forward with full commitment, full focus, full belief that they are going to make it work. Most people live in a constant state of indecision. They start something, but the moment it gets tough, they question themselves. They let fear creep in. They start thinking about all the ways it could go wrong. And before they know it, they quit. Not because they couldn't do it, not because they weren't capable, but because they never truly committed in the first place. They were still holding on to their exit plan. They were still keeping one foot out the door. But that's not how success works. That's not how you build a great life. You have to be all in. The moment you make a real decision, everything changes. Your focus sharpens, your energy shifts. You stop looking for distractions and you start looking for solutions. You stop waiting for things to happen, and you start making things happen. You stop wasting time wondering if you can do it, and you start proving to yourself that you can. But none of that happens until you decide. Until you say, this is what I want, and I will not stop until I get it. You see, indecision is the enemy of progress. Indecision keeps you stuck. Indecision makes you doubt yourself. Indecision wastes your time. And worst of all, indecision makes you live a life of regret. Because one day, you'll look back and realize that all the things you could have done, all the goals you could have achieved, all the dreams you could have lived, never happened because you never fully decided to go after them. You can't build a strong life on weak decisions. You can't expect great results with a half-committed mind. You have to decide what you want, and you have to commit to it like your life depends on it, because in many ways, it does. Your future depends on it, your success depends on it, your happiness depends on it. Think about all the people who have made it to the top, the athletes, the entrepreneurs, the leaders, the artists. They all had one thing in common. They made a decision and they never backed down. They didn't let fear stop them. They didn't let obstacles shake them. They didn't let failure make them quit. They stayed the course. They adjusted when needed, but they never changed the decision itself. They said, I'm doing this, and they followed through. And that's why they succeeded. Now you have to ask yourself, what am I still undecided about? What have I been hesitating on? What have I been starting and stopping over and over again? Because that's what's holding you back. That's what's keeping you from reaching your full potential. And until you decide, truly decide, you will stay exactly where you are. Stop waiting for everything to be perfect before you commit. Stop thinking you need more time, more information, more confidence. You don't. What you need is to make a decision and start. Start where you are. Start with what you have. Start today. And then, once you start, do not stop. Do not let doubt pull you back. Do not let fear make you hesitate. Move forward with full commitment, with full belief, with the absolute certainty that no matter how long it takes, no matter what obstacles come your way, you are going to see it through. You have to be stronger than your excuses. You have to be more committed to your goals than your fears. You have to decide that you are done living the same way, done making the same mistakes, done holding yourself back. And when you do that, when you finally make that decision and stand by it, everything in your life will start to change. Because decisions shape destiny. And the moment you make a real one, you will never be the same again. Number 5, replace emotional reactions with thoughtful responses. There will always be moments in life that test you. Situations that push your buttons. People that say things that frustrate you. Disappointments that shake your confidence. And in those moments, you have 2 choices. You can react emotionally, let anger take over, let frustration cloud your judgment, let fear dictate your next move. Or you can take control and respond with thoughtfulness, with clarity, with strength. One path keeps you stuck. The other moves you forward. Most people don't realize how much their emotional reactions are controlling their lives. They think they're making choices, but in reality, they're being controlled by their emotions. Something happens and they react without thinking. Someone says something negative and they let it ruin their whole day. They get bad news and suddenly they spiral into hopelessness. They feel fear and instead of pushing through, they give up. This is how most people live. Always reacting, always letting their emotions take the driver's seat. And the result? Regret. Because when you react emotionally, you often say things you don't mean, do things you wish you hadn't, and make choices that don't serve your future. But the people who win in life, the people who stay in control, they don't operate that way. They don't let emotions dictate their decisions. They don't let temporary feelings shape permanent outcomes. They train themselves to pause, to think, to act with wisdom, not just impulse, because they understand something powerful. Emotions are temporary, but the consequences of reacting emotionally can last a lifetime. Think about it. How many times in your life have you said something out of anger and regretted it later? How many times have you made a decision based on fear and realized later that it was the wrong choice? How many times have you let frustration make you give up, only to wish later that you had stuck with it? That's what emotional reactions do. They cloud your judgment. They make small problems feel bigger than they are. They push you into decisions that don't align with your long-term goals. You have to start catching yourself in those moments. The moment you feel anger rising, the moment frustration starts creeping in, the moment fear makes you want to run, pause. Don't react. Don't say the first thing that comes to your mind. Don't let emotions hijack your thinking. Take a breath, step back, give yourself a moment to process before you act. Because once you do that, something powerful happens. You take back control. You start responding instead of reacting, and that's when you become dangerous in the best way possible. Because when you are in control of yourself, nothing and no one can manipulate you. Most people don't even try to control their emotions. They say, that's just how I am, or I can't help it. But that's not true. You can train yourself. You can build the habit of pausing, of thinking, of responding with wisdom. It's a skill, and like any skill, the more you practice it, the better you get. The more you catch yourself before reacting, the more you build the ability to handle pressure, to stay calm, to think clearly, no matter what is happening around you. Because life is unpredictable. You will face problems, you will encounter people who try to bring you down, you will deal with situations that don't go your way, and if you're always reacting emotionally, you will always feel out of control. why successful people think differently. It's not because they are smarter or luckier. It's because they have trained themselves to think at a higher level. They have built mental toughness. They have created a habit of high-performance thinking. And because of that, they act differently. They move differently. They don't waste time with negative thoughts. They don't let fear stop them. They don't let setbacks break them. They keep going. They keep pushing. They keep winning. You have to start building this mindset now. You have to start training yourself to think in a way that serves your future. Stop letting old habits of negative thinking hold you back. Stop entertaining thoughts that weaken you. Every time you catch yourself thinking something that doesn't serve you, replace it with something that does. Every time fear creeps in, remind yourself that you are capable. Every time doubt shows up, remind yourself that you have overcome challenges before. Every time negativity tries to take over, shift your focus to what you can do, what you can control, what you can build. Most people don't do this because it takes effort. It's easy to let your thoughts control you. It's easy to stay in a cycle of doubt and fear. But easy won't get you anywhere. If you want to achieve more, if you want to be better, if you want to reach your highest potential, you have to do the work. You have to build a habit of thinking like a high performer. Because once you do, everything changes. Imagine what your life would look like if you had complete control of your thoughts. Imagine how much more you could accomplish if you never let doubt slow you.
Alright, that's a major mistake, putting a fresh screen on here. The other one was worn down, it was working perfect, so just future reference. Careful putting fresh screens on here. It's a little higher grit, 120, and now it's working like crap.
Who acts with purpose, who achieves what others only dream about. This is not about motivation, it's about discipline. It's about rewiring your brain for success. Because when you build a habit of high-performance thinking, success is no longer a question. It becomes a certainty. You won't have to wonder if you're going to win. You will know. Because you have trained your mind to operate at the highest level. And once you do that, nothing can stop you. Number 7, reconstruct your identity around strength, not weakness. There comes a point in life when you have to decide who you really are. Not who the world says you are, not who your past mistakes try to define you as, not even who your own doubts whisper you might be. Now you have to reconstruct your identity based on your strength, not your weakness. Because if you let weakness define you, if you let failures and insecurities dictate the way you see yourself, you'll never break free from the cycle of limitation. You'll stay stuck. You'll keep playing small. You'll keep doubting yourself, and worst of all, you'll keep proving yourself right. That's the dangerous part. When you believe you're weak, you act weak. When you believe you're not capable, you don't try. And then you look around and say, see, I knew I wasn't good enough. That's how people trap themselves in a life they don't want. But you don't have to say that you can decide right now that from this moment on, your identity will be built around strength. Not your fears, not your doubts, not your failures, only your strength. The problem is most people never take the time to decide who they are. They accept whatever identity has been given to them by family, by teachers, by society, by past mistakes. Someone calls them lazy, and they believe it. Someone tells them they're not smart, and they carry that label for years. They fail once, and suddenly they see themselves as a failure forever. That's how most people live it. But you can't afford to live like that. Because the way you see yourself determines everything. The way you act, the risks you take, the opportunities you chase, the challenges you face, the goals you believe you can reach. Your identity is the foundation of your success or your downfall. And if you want to rise, you have to reconstruct that foundation the right way. Strength is not about never.
This new screen absolutely sucks, so
It's not about having all the
I'm going to see if I have a little bit
It's about resilience.
higher grit.
It's about knowing that no
Not
matter
so
what
coarse.
happens, you will get back up. It's about proving to yourself that you can handle anything, even when it's hard, even when it hurts, even when you feel like giving up. That's strength. That's the identity you need to build. But here's the key. No one is going to give you that identity. No one is going to come along and tell you, you are strong now. No one is going to hand you confidence, discipline, or self-belief. That's something you have to take for yourself. That's something you have to build brick by brick.
This one should work better. It's a 220. I tried the 180 for the thicker stuff, and it's giving me all kinds of problems.
Words are shaping your identity. Do you tell yourself that you're not good enough? That you always mess things up? That you'll never
120
or do you tell yourself
word of advice is terrible on the pole, unless you can wear it down and start using it. So
if you've been feeding yourself
ever bumping around,
it's time to
jerking around, not getting a good smooth sand, so I'm gonna get that off here.
Version of yourself. Think about the person you want to be, the version of you who doesn't
Already sweating pretty good.
even when things get tough. That version of you already exists. It's not some distant.
I'll be happy to get the sanding
inside you right now. You just
stage
have to
over with finally.
You have to act like that person every day. Because identity is not something you wait for, it's something you create. You don't become strong by waiting for strength to appear. You become strong by making strong choices, by thinking strong thoughts, by taking strong actions. And the more you do that, the more your identity shifts. You stop seeing yourself as someone who tries and start seeing yourself as someone who does.
Yeah, I'm doing right now.
Wants to change.
Much as I don't want to, this is not fun.
Changing.
Give a lot of credit to the people who do this for a living. Other people actually like it.
Not when you feel like it.
This
Right
has been
now,
awful. 3 months working on this
like the old
room.
was trying to pull you back. When the
Started July 18th.
tries to take over, when you feel like slipping into old habits. That's the test.
Plaster walls
That's the moment
look
you
god awful.
decide,
I've got footage of how they did
stand,
look.
or am I going to fight for the identity I want? Because make no mistake, it is a fight. Your mind will try to pull you back
Unless you
into
pay
what's-
somebody
into what's familiar.
and you want to do it yourself, you're in for a
You have to remind yourself.
rough, bumpy road trying to get through walls like these.
You are not your failures. You are not your fears. You are only what you decide to be today. Start proving your new identity to yourself, not with words, but with actions. You don't need to convince anyone else. Just you. If you say you're strong, then act strong. If you say you're disciplined, then keep your promises to yourself. If you say you're confident, then walk like it, talk like it, move like it. Because every time you do, you're reinforcing your identity. You're telling your mind, this is who I am now. And the more you do that, the more real it becomes. You don't have to be perfect to build a strong identity. You just have to be consistent. Every small choice you make is either reinforcing weakness or reinforcing strength. Every time you push past fear, every time you refuse to give up, every time you take one more step when you feel like stopping, you are proving to yourself that you are strong. And once you start seeing yourself that way, everything changes. Because when you believe in your own strength, you stop looking for approval. You stop waiting for permission, and you stop holding yourself back. You move differently. You think differently. You become the kind of person who makes things happen. So right now in this moment, decide who you are. Decide that from this day forward, your identity is built on strength. No more doubt yourself. No more carrying around old labels. No more acting like someone you don't want to be. From now on, you stand tall, you move with confidence, you take control of your life. Because when you reconstruct your identity around strength, nothing can break you. Nothing can stop you. And that is when you become truly unstoppable. Number 8, avoid people who drain your energy. There comes a time in your life when you have to make a decision. Not just about what you want to do, but about who you allow to be around you. Because whether you realize it or not, the people you surround yourself with are shaping your mindset, your energy, and your future. Some people add to your life, they push you forward, they challenge you to be better. And then there are the others, the ones who drain your energy, who bring nothing but negativity, who pull you down every chance they get. These are the people you cannot afford to keep in your life. Because if you do, you will never reach your full potential. There are people who will never support your growth. Not because you're doing something wrong, but because they can't stand to see you rise. They are comfortable where they are. And the moment you start changing, the moment you start working on yourself, they feel threatened. They see you.
So the 220 works a lot better.
What they ever dared to do.
I gotta plug my phone in, it's already dying.
Insecure. So what do? They try to pull you back. They make fun of your goals. They tell you it's impossible. They remind you of every time you've failed before. They discourage you. And if you're not careful, if you're not strong, you'll start listening to them. You'll start doubting yourself. You'll start believing that maybe they're
Gonna
right.
do that wall while it's
That's
charging
how
over
it's
here.
Not because of failure, but because of the wrong people whispering in your ear. You need to understand this. Your energy is everything. The way you feel, the way you think, the way you act. It all comes down to your energy.
So anyway, the 220 screen, it's still acting up being a fresh screen, but nothing like that 120.
Self-doubt and excuses, you will never break free.
I hate the way
You will stay
that,
stuck. You will carry their weight on your shoulders. And before
I hate
you
the
know
way
it,
that
you're
light's
moving slower,
glaring.
thinking smaller, giving up easier, not because you wanted to, but because they made you
it's hard
believe
not to
that's all you
get
were
footage
capable
without
of.
it up there, so.
You cannot let that happen.
Sorry about that. Anyway, the 220 works a lot better, a lot smoother.
You of your potential.
So if you're going to run
walk away
I'll grab
from
it.
people you once cared about, friends, co-workers, even family members, people who have been a part of your life for years. But you,
If you have some thicker stuff, I would just put some
pushing you
220 on
forward or
this.
holding you back.
It sucks if it's on the ceiling, because the pole helps.
Because here's the
But
truth.
the thing didn't work good crap up on the
Has been in your
ceiling.
life for a long
So it kept
time.
flipping around,
Doesn't mean
bouncing
they
around.
deserve a place in your future.
Maybe as
Loyalty
a
should
pole
never come at the
orbital
cost
if
of
you want to
your
spend
own
$1,000
growth. There are
bucks
people
on
who
one
are
of those.
always
Nice
complaining,
one.
always blaming, always talking about what's wrong with the world. And the more time you spend around them, the more their negativity seeps into you. At first, you might think you're just listening, just being a good friend. But over time, you start picking up their habits. You start focusing on the negatives. You start seeing obstacles instead of opportunities. You start making excuses instead of taking action. And before you know it, you're living in the same cycle they are. Stuck, frustrated, and blaming everything except yourself. That's what happens when you surround yourself with people who drain your energy. You need to be ruthless about who you let into your circle. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone deserves to be in your space, to hear your ideas, to be a part of your journey. You need people who challenge you, who push you, who inspire you.
So that was a good example of what it does flipping over.
Who encourage your growth.
And then it bangs up the
Stronger,
wall.
not weaker. Those are the people who deserve a place in your life. Anyone else. You need to distance yourself. And I know it's not always easy.
You're supposed to kind of hold it diagonal and it helps it from flipping around, but with a fresh screen, it's still doing that. Hindsight, I should have kept the used screen on there. It wasn't worn through,
And if
but
you want to get to where
I
you're
wanted to
going,
put this new one on,
you
use it for
can't
the rest of the
afford to carry
project. You know,
dead weight.
it's
Start
causing
paying
me a lot
attention
of
to how you
problems.
feel after spending time with certain people. Do you feel motivated, energized, excited about your goals? Or do you feel drained, frustrated, full of doubt? Because that feeling is your answer. The wrong people will drain you in ways you don't even realize. They don't have to say anything negative directly, they just bring an energy that pulls you down. And over time, that energy can destroy your motivation, your confidence, and your belief in yourself. That's why you have to make a change now. It's not about being cruel. It's not about thinking you're better than anyone else. It's about protecting your energy. It's about understanding that your time, your focus, your mental state, these are your most valuable assets. And if you spend them on the wrong people, you won't have anything left for yourself. You won't have the energy to chase your goals, to build the life you want.
So right now, personally, I've seen enough of that. I'm just going to go and hit the rest by hand with this little hand sponge.
They'll say you're being selfish. And you know what? They're right. You have changed. And you are being selfish with your energy, with your time, with your future. And that's exactly how it should be. Because the only people who get upset when you set boundaries are the ones who benefited from you having them. Right now, you need to make a choice. Are you going to keep allowing toxic people to drain you? Are you going to keep letting their negativity control your mindset, your energy, your life? Or are you going to take control? Surround yourself with people who lift you up and protect your energy, like your success depends on it. Because it does. The people around you are either fueling your fire or putting it out. And if you want to win, if you want to grow, if you want to become the person you know you can be, you need to choose wisely. Because your future depends on it. Number 9, keep moving forward no matter what. Life doesn't always go as planned. In fact, it rarely does. The road to success is often filled with unexpected twists, bumps, and detours. There will be times when things don't go your way, when the obstacles seem too big, the challenge is too tough, and the odds stacked against you. But here's the thing. Those are the moments when you have to keep moving forward, no matter what. It's easy to get discouraged when things aren't going the way you imagine. When you put in all that effort and still face failure after failure, it can feel like the universe is against you. You start doubting yourself. You question whether all the hard work, the late nights, the sacrifices were worth it. And in those moments, the temptation to stop, to give up, to throw in the towel becomes overwhelming. But you have to understand something important. Those moments of struggle, of doubt, are the exact moments when you need to push the hardest. You see, success is not about avoiding failure. It's not about never encountering setbacks. No one has a straight path to success. Everyone faces challenges. Everyone has doubts. But what separates the ones who succeed from the ones who don't is their ability to keep moving forward in the face of adversity. You can't let the tough times stop you. You can't let the setbacks define you. You need to get back up. No matter how many times life knocks you down. Think about the great achievers in history. Think about the people who changed the world. The people who made a real impact. Were their lives smooth sailing? Were they free of challenges, setbacks, or failures? Absolutely not. They faced rejection, criticism, disappointment, and failure, just like you. The difference was, they didn't let any of that stop them. They didn't quit when things got hard. They didn't throw in the towel when the world told them they couldn't do it. They kept going, even when every part of them was screaming to stop. And that's why they succeeded. The key to making progress, to achieving greatness, lies in your ability to keep moving forward no matter how hard it gets. The greatest achievements in life don't come from moments of comfort. They come from moments of struggle. Every time you feel like giving up, every time you face another setback, that's just life giving you another chance to prove yourself. That's another opportunity to show the world what you're made of. Now, I know it's not easy. It's easy to say keep moving forward, but when you're in the thick of it, when you're facing failure after failure, it feels impossible. It feels like you're running on empty, like you don't have the strength to keep going. But this is where your mental toughness comes in. You have to train yourself to keep moving forward even when you don't feel like it. You have to build that muscle of resilience, that ability to push through the tough times. The truth is, you'll never feel fully ready. You'll never feel like you have it all figured out. And guess what? That's okay. It's all part of the process. You don't need to know exactly how everything will unfold. You don't need to have all the answers. What you need to do is show up day after day and keep moving forward even when the path is unclear. It's a secret that most people don't tell you. Progress doesn't always look like progress. There will be days when you feel like you're stuck, when it seems like you're not getting anywhere. But the truth is, every step forward, no matter how small, is a step in the right direction. Every single day that you don't give up, every time you choose to move forward instead of quitting, is progress. It may not be obvious, but it's happening. And one day, you'll look back and realize just how far you've come. Success isn't a destination, it's a journey. And that journey requires you to keep moving forward no matter what. It's about showing up every day, even when things are tough, even when you don't feel like it, even when you doubt yourself. It's about pushing through the fear, the uncertainty, and the setbacks, and knowing that every step you take is one step closer to your goal. When you're in the middle of a struggle, it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But I promise you, it's there. The hard times won't last forever. The tough moments won't define you. The challenges will pass, and you'll come out the other side stronger, smarter, and more capable than ever before. But only if you keep moving forward. So the next time you face a setback, the next time you are quit, I want you to remember this. The most successful people in the world didn't get there by avoiding failure. They didn't get there by giving up when things got tough. They got there by keeping moving forward. They got there by staying persistent, by staying resilient, by refusing to let failure define them. You have that same power inside of you. The power to keep going, to keep pushing, to keep moving forward no matter what. You just have to make a decision to do it. And when you do, you'll be amazed at what you can achieve. Keep moving forward, and nothing can stop you. You can decide right now that you will win. There's one thing that all successful people have in common, no matter who they are or where they come from. And that one thing is this: they made the decision to win. And I'm not talking about some vague decision, some wishful thinking, or hoping that things work out. I'm talking about a deep, committed decision. A decision that comes from the core of who they are. They decided right then and there that they would win, no matter the odds, no matter the obstacles, and no matter how many setbacks they encountered along the way. Success doesn't come by accident. It's not something that just happens to you if you sit around long enough and wait. You have to decide to win. You have to make the choice that you will succeed and then go all in no matter what. But making that decision is where most people go wrong. They sit on the fence, unsure of what they want. And because of that uncertainty, they miss the opportunity to truly commit to their success. It's time to stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the right moment. That moment you've been waiting for. It's right now. The decision to win is something you can make today. You don't need to wait for everything to line up perfectly, for all the stars to align. You don't need to wait for someone else to tell you that you're ready. You're ready now. The only thing standing in your way is the decision to take action. Think about the people you look up to. The ones who have achieved great things. Who have reached the heights you aspire to. What makes them different from you? Do they have some kind of special talent that you don't? No. The only thing that separates them from the person who doesn't achieve their dreams is the decision to win. They decided that success was non-negotiable. They decided that they would keep going until they succeeded. And that's exactly what they did. It doesn't matter what anyone else says. It doesn't matter if the world tells you it's too hard, too competitive, or too risky. If you decide that you will win, nothing can stop you. The moment you make that decision, you unlock a new level of focus, of power, and of determination. You become unstoppable. But you've got to be ready for the sacrifices that come with making that decision. Winning isn't easy. It requires hard work, long hours, and sometimes it will feel like the world is against you. There will be days when you feel like quitting, when the obstacles seem too big and the journey feels too long. But that's when your decision will matter the most. Because when you've made a decision to win, you find a way, you dig deeper. You've got to develop a mindset. You can't afford to let distractions derail you, to let negativity from others shape your resolve. This isn't a game, this is your life. And if you've made the decision that you will win, then everything you do from this point forward must align with that decision. Every choice you make, every action you take must be in service of your success. It's time to stop making excuses. It's time to stop holding back. The only thing standing between you and your dreams is the decision to go after them. And that decision, when made with absolute certainty and commitment, will change everything. You'll start to see opportunities where you once saw obstacles. You'll start to find solutions where you once saw problems. And slowly but surely you'll start to build momentum. The more you move toward your goal, the more you will believe that success is inevitable. You need to understand that success doesn't belong to the lucky or the talented. Success belongs to those who make the decision to keep going, to keep fighting, and to never back down. That's the key. Decide right now that you will win, and nothing will be able to stop you. The only way to fail is to quit. And if you don't quit, if you keep going, if you stay committed to your decision, then success will eventually be yours. So, make that decision today. Decide, with all of your heart and mind, that you are going to win. And let that decision guide every thought, every action, and every choice you make moving forward. You have the power to save your future, but it all starts with a single decision. The decision to win. Once you make that decision, you'll notice that the world starts to shift. Your energy changes. Your focus sharpens. You'll attract people who support you, opportunities that help you, and the strength you need to push through the toughest moments. Because when you decide to win, you become magnetic to success. But you've got to commit. You've got to decide with absolute certainty. No hesitation, no second guessing. Just a clear, unwavering commitment to your success. And when you do that, there's no stopping you. You'll rise above the challenges. You'll push through the pain. You'll break through the barriers that once held you back. And when you look back on your journey, you'll realize that the moment you decided to win was the moment everything's changed. You're ready? Now decide to win and never look back. But you can't start fresh. The Right now, you can decide to stop letting negative thoughts control you. You can choose to focus on what you can do, not what you can't. And every time those doubts and fears creep in, you can replace them with the kind of thoughts that will push you toward your goals. Remember, you have the power to control your mind. Your thoughts shape your reality, and your actions will follow your thoughts. If you want to succeed, start by thinking like someone who's already succeeded. The mind is a powerful tool. Use it wisely. So take a deep breath, stand tall, and step forward with confidence. The future you want is waiting for you, and it all starts with how you choose to think today. If you're ready to take charge, if you're ready to break free from those negative thoughts, then commit to making that change. Because when you change your mindset, you change your life. Thank you for watching, and remember, the best time to take control of your thinking is now. Keep pushing forward, and let's make those dreams a reality. Success doesn't come to the lucky. It comes to those who understand one simple truth. Your mindset determines your reality. If you keep telling yourself you can't, that's exactly what you'll get. But if you choose to tell yourself, I will, then you just unlocked the first key to success. Here's the truth. If you don't change the way you think, you'll stay stuck in the same place year after year. It's not the world that's holding you back. It's your own mindset. The way you see things, the way you react to challenges, the way you accept excuses. In this video, we're going to shatter the loser mentality that's holding you back. We're going to expose the lies you've been telling yourself. And I'll show you exactly how to replace those lies with the powerful truth of personal responsibility. You'll learn that it's not about waiting for things to change. It's about taking control and making things happen. If you've ever felt like success is just for the lucky few, or like the odds are stacked against you, I'm here to tell you that's a lie. You can change your future, but it starts with a shift in how you think. A shift in what you believe about yourself, your potential, and your ability to take action. You see, there are two kinds of people: those who make excuses and those who make progress. Which one will you be? Stick with me through this video, and I'll show you how to stop making excuses and start making progress. Because once you change your mindset, the world will change with you. Let's get started. Number one, mindset is the foundation of success. Rewire your thinking for good. You know, there comes a time in life when you have to make a choice. A real choice. A choice that changes everything. A choice to stop living like everyone else, to stop thinking like everyone else, and to stop settling for a life you don't even want. Because the truth is, most people don't fail in life because they lack opportunities. They don't fail because they aren't smart enough or talented enough. They fail because they never fix their thinking. They lose before they even start because their own mind is working against them. If your thinking is weak, your life will be weak. If your thinking is full of doubt, your actions will be full of hesitation. If your mind is controlled by fear, your life will be controlled by limitations. This is where most people get stuck. They wonder why nothing is changing. They wonder why they never get ahead. But the truth is, nothing changes outside until something changes inside. You will never see success if your mind is programmed for failure. You will never grow if your thoughts are working against you. Think about the people you know who complain all the time. They say life is unfair. I never get a break. Success is only for lucky people. These are the same people who never take action. They don't try to improve their skills. They don't change their habits. They don't take responsibility. And then they wonder why their life never changes. Listen, if you're waiting for life to change before you change, you're going to be waiting forever. If you're waiting for some miracle to fix everything, it's never going to happen. The only way out is to rewire your thinking for success. Because here's the truth. Every successful person you admire started with one thing: belief. They believed they could be more. They believed they could do more. And because they believed, they acted. Because they acted, they learned. Because they learned, they grew. And because they grew, they succeeded. It all started with the way they thought. You have to train your mind to see opportunities instead of problems, to see lessons instead of failures, to see possibilities instead of limitations. Because if your mindset is weak, your future will be weak. Most people don't realize that their thoughts are shaping their reality. They let their emotions control them. They let fear stop them from taking action. They let doubt talk them out of trying. And over time, that way of thinking becomes normal to them. It becomes automatic. They don't even question it anymore. They just assume this is the way things are. But what if I told you that you are the one shaping your life, whether you realize it or not? What if I told you that every thought, every belief, every excuse you make is either moving you forward or holding you back? Look, you can either train your mind for success or you can let life train it for failure. And let me tell you, life doesn't reward people who sit back and wait. Life doesn't give handouts. It doesn't care if you're tired, if you're scared, or if you don't feel ready. If you don't take control of your mindset, life will take control of it for you. And when that happens, you'll spend your days reacting instead of creating, surviving instead of thriving, existing instead of living. That's the reality most people live in. But you don't have to. You can change it. You can rewire your thinking, and when you do, your entire world will change. So how do you do it? How do you escape the loser mentality and build a mindset that attracts success? It starts with awareness. You need to start paying attention to the way you think. You need to catch yourself when you're making excuses. You need to notice when you're doubting yourself, when you're thinking small, when you're focusing on problems instead of solutions. Because once you become aware of how often you hold yourself back, you can start to change it. The next step is discipline. You need to start replacing those negative thoughts with new ones. You need to start programming your mind to believe in possibilities. That means feeding your brain with things that push you forward. Read books that challenge you. Listen to people who inspire you. Surround yourself with people who are doing better than you. And most importantly, take action. Because if you sit around waiting to feel ready, you'll never move. If you wait until you feel motivated, you'll never move. You need to move first, and the motivation will come. You need to understand something. The way you think is shaping your future right now. Every choice you make, every habit you develop, every belief you hold on to is either pushing you towards success or pulling you towards failure. There is no in between. You are either growing or you are staying the same. And staying the same is just another way of falling behind. So let me ask you, are you going to keep thinking like the masses? Are you going to keep waiting for things to change while doing nothing about it? Or are you going to take control of your mind, your habits, and your future? Because the truth is, most people will never change. They will keep making the same excuses, the same mistakes, the same decisions, and they will keep getting the same results. But you don't have to be like them. You can decide right now that you are done thinking small, that you are done letting fear control your decisions, that you are done waiting and watching while other people create the life you wish you had. The moment you change your mindset, everything else starts to change. Your actions change, your habits change, your results change, your life changes. But it all starts with a decision. The decision to stop thinking like everyone else. The decision to start thinking like a winner. The decision to take full responsibility for your life, your success, and your future.
All right.
Because no one else is going to do it.
So this is what you're in for.
Save you. No one
Sanding joint compound.
That's your job. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you will start to see the
popping
life
up,
you always
sanding
wanted
down
to
so it's
become.
easier to sand, but
It won't happen
I've done
overnight.
3 layers.
It won't be easy.
All-purpose joint compound plus 3 and covering
And
with
once you
the
break
top
free from the
side.
loser
So,
mentality, once you train your mind to think like a winner,
yeah, this is
nothing
stuff
will be
to
able
think
to
about.
stop you. Not fear, not doubt, not failure. Because
Especially
when
if you
your
have a
mindset
breathing
is
problem
strong,
or
you
something
become
like that.
unstoppable. So, the question is, are you ready? Are you ready to rewire your mind for success?
I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break.
Your thoughts, your habits,
Doesn't look like I have anybody in here anyway. They come and go. This is, like I said earlier,
Number 2,
probably pretty
successes are
boring
not entitled. Shift from expectation
viewing.
to execution. There is a big
So
mistake.
I'm going to
that
take
lot
a
of
quick
people
5-minute break.
A mistake that keeps them stuck, frustrated, constantly
DJ.
wondering why life isn't going their way.
What's up, bro? How's your day going?
Success instead of earning it. Too many
See me, I'm
people
getting
feel
at
like
it.
they deserve
I'm just
something
getting some
because they
practice
want
up
it.
here.
They think life owes them a break. They think success should come easily. They think that
I've never done a collaborative. That would be.
But let me tell you the truth.
I'm pretty good. It's been a good day. I'm getting through this process. Turn this down a second.
What your background is, or how badly you want it. If you don't work for it.
Yeah, pretty good. I'm going to do videos eventually about this whole process. Oh yeah, joint compound. I've been sanding, so I'm into the sanding stages. I'm ready to get that over with, and then you start painting with primer. Plaster walls were horrible, so I'm doing kind of going to put together a walkthrough from beginning to end. They look terrible. I had to scrape everything down and primer to get old paint off the walls. Scraped it down, 3 layers of mud, and now well, there was a lot of cracks. I had to fix all the cracks too, so that was a process, and now I'm sanding. So I'm about to go sand out that closet, and then once I do finishing sanding, I'll be ready to primer and paint. So kind of think about maybe making this room a little studio. That's where my mind's at right now. What kind of collab are you thinking? Oh, I saw your channel too. I checked out some of those judo videos.
You need to stop making excuses and start making progress.
Yeah,
nobody is coming to hand you a short
maintenance needs done everywhere, it seems like. People don't keep up with stuff like they used to either. They're too busy on social media.
The people who succeed in life, the ones who break through, they don't wait.
What kind of collab do you have in mind?
They show up day after day, even when they don't feel like it. They do what needs to be done, even when nobody is watching.
Yeah, that'd be great. I was online last night. Yeah. I was online last night trying to kind of document my journey with that. Struggles. More like it.
You have to do what they do.
I got to do good for a few days, and like today I ran and grabbed a Subway sandwich and Pepsi, so I just didn't have much energy. I got that in me and I headed on upstairs to get to work, so some days I do better than others.
But the difference is they kept going.
But
most people give up too soon.
I seem to do better when I'm more structured. I'm on unemployment that pays $600 a week now, but when I work the 12-hour shifts and a steady grind, better structure, I seem to do better with dieting.
Maybe you see nothing tomorrow. Maybe you see nothing next week. Maybe even next month. But if you keep watering those seeds,
yeah, that'd be great.
If you stay patient,
we'll have to figure something out. I'll know tomorrow after I have the interview, so I'll know in the next week or so the type of schedule I'll be on. It'd be cool just to even bounce thoughts back and forth off of each other and share those. Share knowledge of what we both learned over the years. I had a guy come in last night. I was on my weight set and he was telling me I look like a Teletubby, so I mean, I laughed it off. I've got thick skin, but I just pretty much told him I'd pray for him and thanks for the motivation. I told him I use that as fuel, so when I'm out there running my laps and hitting jump rope, I'm reminding myself of that Teletubby comment.
Because it takes more than just wanting. It takes discipline. It takes commitment.
I'm going to run down and grab a water. I've been at this for already 58 minutes, so I'd say 40 minutes. Grab me a water and come back up and get in that closet and start.
They're not willing to push themselves.
Yeah, but he knew what he meant by it. Yeah, I was doing pull downs on my weight set last night, just talking to people. He joined in. I think he may have earned the reward of my first troll. So I told him I'd pray for him. I wasn't worried about blocking people, just expose what that toxic behavior does to people. Come in trying to insult people. Get a reaction, that's all it is. I'm hip to it all. I've seen it plenty. Probably done a little bit over the years when I was younger myself. So.
Nothing will change until you change. You have to make a decision.
How's the weather out your way today?
Stop waiting. Stop.
It's nice here, super nice.
Decision to take control of your future.
Upper 70s.
Decision to outwork, outlearn, and outlast everyone else. Because that's the only way to win. Success is not a gift. It's not something that just happens to you. It's something you struggle for, work for. And if you
Good day to stay inside and hit some push-ups or something.
shortcut stop.
Oh, really? Huh.
Stop thinking
I wouldn't expect to hear that out that way.
It won't. But if you put in the work, if you stay consistent, if you push yourself beyond what you thought was possible.
Yeah, I like this guy I'm listening to, Jim Rohn, right now. He's pretty good. I don't know how they are on the copyright stuff, so I don't want to get a strike.
Number 3.
I've heard one strike can't get monetized, so I don't know how that works
There are
yet.
two kinds of people in this world. Those who blame their circumstances and those who rise above them. And let me tell you something. The first group, the ones who blame, the ones who sit around pointing fingers at everything but themselves, they never win. They stay stuck, frustrated, and powerless. But the second group, the ones who
I was thinking on your judo,
the ones who say, I may not control
that was
everything,
a
but
pretty cool
I control
idea.
my response."
I'm surprised you don't do
Those
more
who change their lives.
content like that.
Those are the ones who succeed.
A lot of people find that interesting, even just to watch your techniques and
Some people go through
learn
life
from
carrying
people.
a long list of excuses. I didn't get the right education. I wasn't born into the right family. The economy is bad. Nobody is helping me, and because of that mindset, they stay exactly where they are. But then there's another kind of person.
I've noticed these live streams too with my laptop.
Make something. The one who faced every setback imaginable, but refused to quit.
Okay, yeah, that sounds cool. I have some stuff lined up.
And guess what?
Interview tomorrow and work on the other property
That person's
Saturday with my dad, and
don't waste time complaining.
Buckeyes play the night game, so I'll definitely want to watch that night game. But
Circumstances
yeah,
they adapt.
we'll get together somehow.
Forward no matter what.
Okay.
That's exactly why they keep rising while everyone else.
Yeah, that'd be great. I don't know if you've seen Master Fun on his live streams. He's got that wooden dummy looking thing. It's pretty cool the way he works with that, but you can't really do much wrestling or judo type stuff with anything like that.
But what are you gonna do about it? Are you gonna sit around and complain? Are you gonna waste your energy wishing things were different? Or are you gonna get up and do something? Because let me tell you, winners don't have time to feel
I
sorry.
need to get out tonight and get an exercise in myself. Speaking of the weight loss, I'm sweating now pretty good, but it really no effect.
And they use it to build
No weight loss. I can check the scales tomorrow and I'm gonna be just right at 281.
But the difference is in how they respond. The losers.
Yeah, it sure does. The especially these shorts.
The winners say, I will
The shorts live streams, the vertical shorts, because people just scanning it
one person quits
to catch their eye. I've noticed myself, I've had better luck.
determines everything.
Like when I get on here at night and just kind of engage with people and we just talk.
Tough hand in life,
Just kind of vibe and shoot ideas back and forth.
and you've also met people.
Well, without you stopping in, people probably wasn't going to talk today. I was in here sanding yesterday and I didn't get a single like, and nobody commented whatsoever in an hour. So that's kind of a learning experience on that, but it is my 4th day on here.
Or push you forward. And let me tell you something about obstacles. They are not the enemy.
Yep, exactly. And I always go back to the Bible principles too, and all that fasting that was mentioned.
How badly you want something.
And that,
They separate those who are serious from those who are just talking.
yeah, I have a hard time with the fast.
You have two choices.
I'm not gonna lie.
Or get stronger.
I
And that choice
I did it 3 days,
determines your
a month and a half or 2 months ago already, but
Some people always seem to find a way to
I'm lucky to make it today, and so I load up on fruit.
train themselves.
I like blueberries, blackberries, apples, and apples hold for maybe at least a week.
Find another route.
But
Refuse to let setbacks become
I've got to kind of time it to where I run all my fruit down, or I'm throwing away money.
always end up
Run my fruit down and then
Losers,
fast.
on the other hand, make a habit of stopping. They stop when things get
Yeah, I love to eat too. Yep,
because they
I'm glad you admit it, because I do too.
never build momentum.
I thought that earlier. I hadn't eaten anything. All I'd eaten all week was sirloins and
Everything but themselves.
sirloins and chicken breast.
Life does not
a little bit of fruit, so I gave in today and went and grabbed the Subway. It's supposed to be a fresh fit, but I don't know. I don't think that's all that healthy the way I had it made. I had grilled chicken and turkey put on it. And, I like their Baja Chipotle Ranch. So that and cheese. Had all that on there. That's really all I'm going to eat, but that's just, you know. It's unfortunate when you have these, what they call the endomorph body type, where you just pack on weight so easy. So I was seeing that pretty heavy in my 20s. Example, back when I was in prison, the dorm it was a wide open dorm. It wasn't like you see on TV with all the cells. Big bunks, lines of bunks, like 3 feet apart, so you could look down a whole line of racks and people. So point is, you see some of them guys sitting up on their top rack with their shirts off, never work out. They'd be sitting up there eating whole bags of chips at a time, a big old break with ramen noodles and summer sausage, cheese squeeze, Doritos smashed and poured in it, pure junk. Eating it every day, drinking what they called Foxy's, which was about that much Kool-Aid, pure sugar in the bottom of a container. Add coffee to it, shake it up, heat it up, and add ice, and they call it a Foxy. And that was their diet. And they're sitting up on their top bunks, been in there for years, sitting there with abs, chest muscles, nice arms, nice firm legs, never work out. It's unfortunate, but some people's just blessed like that. Some doctors say it's, laziness, it's not genetics, and I disagree. Some of them just blessed. Good genes. If you look at my dad's side, other than him, the whole side's overweight. Health problems.
That's the 1% rule. And if you can understand this, if you can apply this to your life, you will separate yourself from...
Yeah, it was, especially football days, basketball, beating on their metal boxes and acting like a bunch of fools. Some dorms were better than others. But, yeah. It's good to see you on here, DJ. I don't know if you'll be around tonight. I'll be on for a little bit, possibly. I've got the interview tomorrow, and then I'll be back here in a minute. I'm just going to go grab some water. So I'm sure you got stuff to do also. It was good to talk to you for a minute. Keep in touch on that collab stuff.
They know that even the smallest improvement repeated over time.
It would be great to come up with
if you improve just 1% each day,
great strategy to help people with body styles like we have. So I'm going to go grab my water.
You won't just be a little bit.
See ya.
You'll be 37 times better than you are today. That's the power of small, consistent improvement. But here's the problem. Because 1% improvement is so small, most people ignore it. They don't take it seriously. They don't realize that success isn't built in a day. It's built in the small, unseen moments when you choose to do a little more, learn a little more, and push yourself just a little harder. Let me tell you something important. If you're waiting for motivation, you're wasting time. Motivation is unreliable. Some days you'll feel like giving it your all, and other days you won't even want to get out of bed. That's why you can't depend on motivation. Instead, you have to depend on discipline. You have to depend on the small daily habits that move you forward, even when you don't feel like it. You might be thinking, but 1% improvement is so small. How can that possibly change my life? And that's the exact mindset that keeps people stuck. Because when you ignore small improvements, you miss out on the power of momentum. You don't see the compound effect of those small actions. Imagine 2 people trying to improve their fitness. One person works out for an hour, pushes themselves to the limit, and then doesn't do anything for the next 2 weeks because they're sore, exhausted, and overwhelmed. The other person, they just start with 10 minutes a day. Not much, just 10 minutes. But they do it every single day. And over time, they get stronger, they build a habit, and 6 months later, that second person is in incredible shape while the first person is still struggling to start. Why? Because they understood the power of small, consistent actions. Success works the same way in every area of life. If you want to become financially successful, you don't need to make $1 million overnight. You need to start saving, start investing, start learning how to manage money. If you want to improve your mindset, you don't need to completely change overnight. You need to start feeding your mind with the right information, start surrounding yourself with the right people, start replacing negative thoughts with powerful ones. It's not about massive changes, it's about small daily improvements. Now here's what most people do. They hear this, they get excited, and they start making improvements for a few days, but then, because they don't see instant results, they stop. They convince themselves it's not working. They don't realize that progress is happening, even if they can't see it yet. Let me give you an example. If you put an ice cube in a room that's 25 degrees, nothing happens. You raise the temperature to 26, then 27, then 28, still nothing. It looks like no progress is being made. But when the temperature hits 32 degrees, suddenly the ice starts melting. Was it that last degree that caused the change? No. It was all the small temperature increases before it that built up to that moment. That's exactly how success works. You might not see the results right away, but every small improvement, every small action is building up. And one day, the results will show. But only if you keep going. Only if you stay consistent. Because that's where most people fail. They give up before the breakthrough happens. They stop right before their hard work starts to pay off, and that's why they never see the success they want. The 1% rule is simple, but it requires patience, it requires trust in the process, it requires the ability to keep going even when you don't see immediate results. Most people overestimate what they can do in a week and underestimate what they can do in a year. They think success should happen fast, and when it doesn't, they quit. But the winners, the people who truly make it, they understand that the small things they do every day matter more than the big things they do once in a while. So here's the question. Are you willing to commit to daily improvement, even if it feels slow? Are you willing to put in the work every single day, even when no one is watching? Because if you are, if you can just stay consistent, you will be unstoppable. It doesn't matter where you are right now. It doesn't matter how far behind you feel. The only thing that matters is whether or not you are willing to take action, no matter how small, every single day. And remember this, the person who improves by just 1% every day will always be a better person who does nothing, waits for motivation, or gives up too soon. The choice is yours. Do you want to be stuck in the same place next year, or do you want to look back and see how far you've come? Because your future is being built right now, in the small choices you make every day. If you can commit to getting just a little better every day, you will wake up and realize you've created a life most people only dream about. Number 5, no one respects a quitter, build discipline, or stay average. Nobody respects a quitter. Nobody looks up to the person who starts something, gets excited for a few days, then disappears when things get tough. Nobody admires the one who gives up at the first sign of struggle. The world doesn't reward excuses. It rewards discipline. It rewards the people who show up day after day wet. That's what keeps you moving forward, even on the days when you don't feel like it. That's what makes you different from everyone else. Most people start strong, but very few finish. That's why you see people jump from one thing to another, always looking for an easier way, always giving up when things don't go their way. They start a new business, and when they don't make money in a month, they quit. They start a workout routine, and when they don't see abs in 2 weeks, they quit. They start learning a skill, and when it feels frustrating, they quit. And every time they quit, they're training themselves to give up at the first sign of difficulty. That's why they never reach their goals. Not because they aren't smart enough, not because they aren't talented enough, but because they never stay long enough to see the results. If you quit every time things get hard, you will never achieve anything worthwhile. Every single person who has succeeded at something has had a moment where they wanted to quit. Every single one. But the difference is, they didn't. They pushed through when it was painful. They kept going when it was frustrating. And that's why they won. Not because they were special, not because they had some magic ability, but because they refused to quit. If you look around, you'll see that most people are stuck in an endless cycle of starting and quitting. They get excited about something new, they dive in, and then the moment they hit resistance, they back out. And then they start something else. And then they quit that too, over and over again. And they never understand why they never succeed. They think it's bad luck. They think they just haven't found the right opportunity yet. But the truth is, they never built the discipline to stick with something long enough to see it through. Discipline is a skill, and like any skill, it can be developed. But only if you stop making quitting an option. Only if you decide that no matter how hard it gets, no matter how long it takes, you are going to see this through. Because that's the only way you win. There is no shortcut, there is no easy way. You either stay disciplined and keep going, or you stay average and keep making excuses. Here's something most people don't realize. Every time you quit, you make it easier to quit again. The more you give up, the more you train yourself to walk away when things get tough. And before you know it, quitting becomes your habit, not pushing through. Discipline, quitting. And that's a dangerous place to be, because once quitting becomes normal for you, success becomes impossible. You have to break that cycle. You have to stop quitting every time things get uncomfortable. You have to stop looking for the easy way and start looking for the way that actually works. And the way that works is simple: build discipline. Show up every single day no matter what. Put in the work even when you don't feel like it. Push through the moments when you want to quit. Because those are the moments that separate the winners from the rest. Nobody respects the quitter. Not in business, not in sports, not in life. The world rewards the people who are relentless. The people who don't back down. The people who refuse to make excuses. If you want success, you have to earn it. And earning it requires discipline. It requires the ability to keep going, to stay focused, to do what needs to be done even when it's the last thing you feel like doing. You don't need to be the smartest person in the room. You don't need to have the most talent. You just need to have the discipline to show up every single day and do the work. That's what will set you apart. That's what will take you from average to extraordinary. Because at the end of the day, it's not the people who start that succeed. It's the people who refuse to quit. Number 6, no skills, no success. Start learning or stay broke. There's no way around it. If you don't have skills, you don't have success. It's that simple. No one is going to hand you a great life just because you want it. No one is going to pay you just because you show up. The world doesn't reward effort. It rewards results. And results only come when you have something valuable to offer, when you have skills. If you're broke, if you're stuck, if you feel like life isn't giving you the opportunities you deserve, the hard truth is this: you probably don't have the skills that the world is willing to pay for. And until you fix that, nothing is going to change. The people who succeed in life aren't the ones who complain about how unfair everything is. They're the ones who take responsibility. They're the ones who realize that if they want a better life, they need to get better. They need to become valuable. They need to develop skills that people need, skills that solve problems, skills that make an impact. Because the moment you have skills, you're no longer at the mercy of circumstances. You're no longer begging for opportunities, you create them. Look at the world around you. The people who are successful, the people who have financial freedom, the people who are living life on their terms. What do they all have in common? They have skills. They didn't just sit around waiting for someone to save them. They learned, they studied, they practiced, they got better. And because they got better, they got paid better. That's how it works. You don't get what you wish for, you get what you work for. The problem is most people don't want to put in the effort. They want easy money. They want a shortcut. They want to stay comfortable. But comfort never made anyone rich. Comfort never created opportunities. If you're not actively learning, if you're not developing skills that make you valuable, then don't be surprised when you stay broke. Because in today's world, ignorance is expensive. Being unskilled is expensive. And the price you pay for not learning is much higher than the effort it takes to build real skills. Some people spend years complaining about their situation instead of spending a few months mastering a skill that could change their life. They'll say, I don't have time, but they'll spend hours scrolling on social media. They'll say, I don't have money to learn, but they'll spend money on entertainment, on things that don't bring them any closer to success. And then they wonder why nothing changes. They wonder why they're always struggling. It's because they made the wrong choice. They chose comfort over growth. And that's the fastest way to stay stuck. Learning a skill is not optional if you want to succeed. It's a requirement. And it doesn't matter where you are in life right now. It doesn't matter if you have zero experience. It doesn't matter if you've never been good at anything before. What matters is that you start. Because the sooner you start, the sooner you put yourself in a position to win. Every skill you learn makes you more valuable. Every skill you develop increases your chances of success. And when you have enough valuable skills, success is no longer a question of if, it's only a matter of when. Most people underestimate how quickly they can change their life. They think success takes years. They think it's only for people who got lucky. But the truth is, your entire financial situation can change in 6 months to a year if you commit to learning. If you put in the effort to master a skill. If you become exceptional at something people need, your value skyrockets. And when your value goes up, so does your income. The difference between the people who win and the people who stay broke. Is it luck? It's not intelligence. It's skill. The person who has skills will always have opportunities. The person who refuses to learn will always be struggling. The person who chooses to grow will always be in control of their future. The person who chooses comfort will always be at the mercy of circumstances. And at the end of the day, that's the choice you have to make. Are you going to keep making excuses? Are you going to keep waiting for things to get easier? Or are you going to take control of your future and start learning? Because nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to hand you success. But the moment you decide to build skills, the moment you decide to make yourself valuable, everything changes. That's the truth. And the sooner you accept it, the sooner you start learning. Number 7, comfort zones kill more dreams than failure ever will. Most people think failure is what stops them from achieving success, but that's not true. Failure isn't what kills dreams. It's comfort. It's the habit of staying where it feels safe. It's the fear of stepping into the unknown. It's the addiction to easy routines that keep you in the same place year after year. That's what raises your potential. Not one big failure, but a lifetime of small decisions to stay comfortable instead of pushing forward. Think about it. How many people do you know who are stuck in the same job, stuck in the same routine, stuck in the same cycle of wishing for a better life, but never doing anything about it? But it's not because they're not capable. It's not because they don't have dreams. It's because they got too comfortable. They told themselves, this is good enough. And once you start telling yourself that, once you settle into a routine that doesn't challenge you, you stop growing. And when you stop growing, you stop moving forward. Comfort zones are dangerous because they feel good, they feel safe. They make you believe that staying where you are is the best option. But over time, that comfort becomes a prison. And one day you wake up and realize that years have passed and nothing has changed. The opportunities you once had gone. The dreams you once had faded. And all because you chose to stay comfortable instead of taking risks. The truth is, success is uncomfortable. Growth is uncomfortable. Becoming the best version of yourself is uncomfortable. But that's the price you have to pay if you want more out of life. The people who achieve great things are not the ones who have it easy. They are the ones who stepped into discomfort. They are the ones who felt fear but moved forward anyway. They are the ones who took risks when everyone else played it safe. That's the difference. That's what separates the people who succeed from the people who stay average. Most people don't fail because they tried and lost. They fail because they never tried at all. They let fear keep them in a place that feels familiar, even when that place is making them miserable. They stay in jobs they hate. They hold on to relationships that drain them. They avoid challenges discomfort, the weaker you become. Your ability to push risk, to push through fear, to handle challenges, it all starts to fail. And before you know it, you're trapped. Not by failure, but by your own decisions to stay where it felt safe. You have to break out. You have to start doing the things that make you uncomfortable, because that's where growth happens. That's where success is built. Every time you step outside your comfort zone, you get stronger. Every time you face a challenge, instead of avoiding it, you level up. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. What once seemed impossible becomes normal. What once scared you becomes part of who you are. And that's when you start winning. The people who succeed in life aren't fearless, they just refuse to let fear stop them. They don't let comfort keep them stuck. They push themselves even when it's hard. And that's why they get the rewards that most people never will. If you want a better life, you have to be willing to get uncomfortable. You have to be willing to do things you've never done before. You have to be willing to risk failure, to face rejection, to struggle, to look foolish in the process of learning something new, because that's the only way forward. No one ever built an extraordinary life by staying where it was easy. No one ever reached their full potential by avoiding discomfort. The people who achieve the most are the ones who step into the unknown again and again until it becomes second nature. They train themselves to handle challenges. They train themselves to push through fear. And because of that, they get opportunities, they get success, and most importantly, they get freedom. So the choice is simple. Stay comfortable and stay the same, or get uncomfortable and grow. One leads to a life of regret. The other leads to a life of possibilities. And the only person who can make that decision is you. Number 8, your circle shapes your destiny. Surround yourself with excellence. If you're struggling in life, if success feels out of reach, you get stuck. There's something you need to look at immediately. Your circle. The people around you, the ones you spend the most time with. Whether you realize it or not, your circle is shaping your future every single day. The conversations you hear, the way you spend your voice, the way they handle challenges, the way they talk about money, about success, about discipline, all of it is either pulling you forward or holding you back. And if you don't take control of that, you will never reach your full potential. You don't need to be a genius to see this. Look around. Look at the people who are winning, the ones who are doing something in their lives. What kind of people do they surround themselves with? Winners, hard workers, people who think big, who take action, who push each other to be better. And now, look at the ones who are always struggling, the ones who complain but never change, the ones who make excuses, the ones who make their lives on meaningless things. Who do they spend their time with? People don't like them. Because that's how it works. Your environment dictates your mindset. And your mindset dictates your result. You cannot expect to build a strong, successful life while surrounding yourself with weak, negative people, and they are dragging you down. Some people will hear this and immediately get defensive, but these are my friends, my family, I've known them for years. And that's exactly the problem.
Hey, Jim Rockford. Yeah, it's closet upstairs, old 1920s brick home. It's an old plaster wall house. Been a major job.
It's about protecting your energy, protecting your mind, protecting.
Thanks for stopping in. Yep. Yeah, it's work. I had to scrape. I'm going to do a walkthrough on all the steps of the process. It was horrible. Paint on the walls was scraping. Spent a couple weeks scraping them down even. And thanks. Yeah, this is. So I had to scrape. I'm trying to get this mask off. Had to scrape everything. Yep, you're right. Scraped it all down, and then I primered it, and then I ran all-purpose joint compound, and then +3, and then topping. So I'm in the sanding stage right now. I'm excited to get through this. The main room just got sanded down, so I'm sanding the closet, and then I'm ready to primer. So it's all getting redone. After that, the baseboards and wood floor, everything will get ripped up.
Your mindset changes, your habits change, your expectations change. You start to believe.
It goes on and on.
You start to push yourself harder. And before you know it, you've become the type of person.
Yep, same to you, bro. I hope you're having a good day. I'm going to get back at it. This little closet's like a little sweat box. So I just keep chipping away. Hope you're doing good. Feel free to subscribe. I've only been on here 4 days, so this isn't the only thing I'm going to go live with. I just like talking to people too sometimes. So thanks for stopping in.
From people who have achieved what you want. You can join communities, go to events, find mentors, but what you cannot do is sit around surrounded by people who are comfortable being happy and expect to win. At the end of the day, this is your choice. No one is forcing you to stay in the same circle. No one is making you spend time with negative, unmotivated people. That's on you. And if you continue to choose that environment, there'll be surprises along certain things. But if you're serious about success, if you're serious about growth, then it's time to make a change. Upgrade your circle, and you upgrade your life. Surround yourself with excellence, and success will follow. That's how it works. And that's how you win. Number 9. Stop thinking like an employee. Start thinking like an owner. If you're truly serious about changing your life, it's time to make a shift. And not just a small shift, but a complete mindset transformation. Stop thinking like an employee and start thinking like an owner. Because that's what separates those who struggle to get by from those who go on to get empires. The moment you start seeing the world through the eyes of an owner, everything changes. You stop waiting for someone else to tell you what to do. You stop waiting for someone to notice your hard work. Instead, you start taking full responsibility for your success. And that mindset, my friends, is what will take you to the top. You see, when you think like an employee, your mindset is trapped in a system. You set every day, put it in your hours, collect your paycheck, and then you wait for the next day to do it all over again. Your time is unlimited, and your success is tied to a system that you have no control over. You might get a raise or a promotion here and there, but deep down you know you're not really in control of your life. You're not really building anything for yourself. And you definitely aren't thinking about leaving a legacy. But when you start thinking like an owner, your entire approach shifts. You begin to take ownership of every aspect of your life. You stop blaming your job, your boss, your circumstances. Instead, you begin to see yourself as the driver of your own success. You see every decision as an investment in your future. You see every challenge as an opportunity to grow. You stop living paycheck to paycheck, and you start focusing on building something that can provide for you and your family for the long haul. This is where the true magic happens. When you think like an owner, you stop accepting mediocrity. You stop being okay with the bare minimum. You start to demand more from yourself. You take pride in the work you do, and you constantly look for ways to improve. You start making decisions that align with your long-term goals, not just your short-term comfort. You start making sacrifices, working late nights, learning new skills, and investing in yourself. Because you know that what you build today is the foundation for what you want tomorrow. Here's the thing, this isn't about starting a business. It's not about quitting your job and becoming a full-time entrepreneur. It's about developing an ownership mentality in everything you do. Whether you're working for someone else or you're running your own business, you need to approach your work with the mindset of an owner. That means treating every task, every responsibility, and every opportunity as if it's your own business. You treat every project like it's your legacy. You make every decision with the future in mind. You don't just punch the clock and go home. You give everything you've got because you understand that the work you do today will directly impact your success tomorrow. When you start thinking like an owner, you stop waiting for permission to do more. You stop hoping for a break, a chance, a lucky moment instead. You start creating those moments yourself. You start finding ways to make things happen. You take risks. You challenge yourself. You learn that things are more. You stop looking for shortcuts because you know that success isn't handed to you. You get comfortable with discomfort because you understand that it's a sign of growth and you don't settle. Ever. This shift in thinking is incredibly powerful because it opens up a whole new world of possibilities. When you start thinking like an owner, you start building assets to leverage your time and energy to create something that can generate income even when you're not working. Whether it's investing in your education, building a side hustle, or finding ways to maximize the value you provide in your current job, you start seeing your time as a unit of labor. You start seeing it as an investment. But here's the truth: a lot of people don't want to hear it. I think it's so really easy. It requires a level of responsibility that most people aren't willing to take on. It means being accountable for your actions, your decisions from your results. It means being the one who takes the risk, who bears the burden, and who faces the consequences when things don't go as planned. But it also means that when things do go right, the rewards are yours to keep. Most people shy away from this responsibility because it's uncomfortable. They prefer the predictability of a job where someone else tells them what to do. But the reality is that predictability comes at a price. When you're living like an employee, you're trading your time for money. And no matter how hard you work, there's always a cap on how much you can make. You're always going to be at the mercy of someone else's decisions. But when you start thinking like an owner, you stop living in that cap. You start building your own path. You start making your own decisions. And you start seeing the rewards of your hard work. Not just in the form of money, but in the form of freedom. Freedom to do what you want. Freedom to work when and where you want. Freedom to choose the life you want to live. This is the power of thinking like an owner. It's not about a paycheck. It's about creating a life of abundance, where your time and energy are spent on things that truly matter to you. And you can do this right now. It doesn't matter where you're starting from or what your current situation is. The moment you change your mindset, the moment you begin to see yourself as an owner of your life, your world starts to shift. You stop feeling small, you stop accepting limitations, and you start making decisions that set you up for massive success. So what are you waiting for? Stop thinking like an employee. Stop living your life on autopilot. Start thinking like an owner. Take full responsibility for your success and watch as everything in your life begins to change. You have the power to create the life you want. It's time to step into it. Number 10, success demands sacrifice. What are you willing to give up? Success isn't something that handed to you on a silver platter. It's earned through hard work, discipline, and above all, sacrifice. Success demands sacrifice. The kind of success that can be wide, the kind that elevates you to the next level, it doesn't come without paying a price. The real question is, what are you willing to give up to get there? We all have dreams, ambitions, and goals we want to achieve. Whether it's financial freedom, a career breakthrough, or personal growth, we want the rewards. But too often we forget that the path to those rewards is not a straight line. It's full of obstacles, challenges, and yet sacrifices. If you're serious about reaching your fullest potential, you need to realize that there are things you must let go of to create the space for the life you want. That doesn't mean you're willing to give up something you love or value in order to gain something greater in the future. It's about making choices now that pay off later. Let's be honest. Those choices are not always easy to make. Sometimes success means saying goodbye to things that bring you temporary comfort, distractions that keep you stuck, or habits that hold you back. You'll have to choose what's more important, your current state of comfort or the future you're working toward. Let's start with time. If you want to build something great, you need to realize that your time is not unlimited. It's precious. It's finite. The way you spend it will determine how far you go. There are only so many hours in a day, and if you're not using them wisely, you're wasting them. What are you willing to sacrifice when it comes to time? Are you willing to stop binge watching that TV series, stop scrolling aimlessly through social media, and stop wasting time with things that don't move you closer to your goals? Because success is not found in moments of laziness or idleness. It's found in the hours you spend working on yourself, learning new skills, or pushing forward in your career. Think about the time you could be investing in something more productive. Imagine what you accomplish if you stop letting distractions steal your focus. Success demands that you protect your time like it's your most valuable asset because unless you steal it, you can never get back. Then there's the sacrifice of comfort. Let's face it, it's easy to stay comfortable. The comfort zone is a nice place to be, but nothing grows in it. If you want to achieve greatness, you can't hold things in your own focus. It's all about fire. That means embrace understand that those moments of indulgence are taking you farther away from your dreams. It's not about being rude. It's about being focused. Success is about knowing that your future is more important than short-term pleasure, going out, wasting time with the wrong people, participating in things that have no value to your life. If you're serious about achieving something bigger than yourself, you have to make decisions based on your vision, not based on your desire to fit in or please others. Sacrifice also requires you to give up bad habits. If you want to build the life you've always dreamed of, you can't keep engaging in the same destructive habits that hold you back. If you're constantly procrastinating, if you're always making excuses, if you're letting fear and doubt control you, then you have to make the decision to change. You have to be willing to give up old patterns and behaviors that keep you stuck in mediocrity. If you're not willing to sacrifice those bad habits, then you'll keep living a life of regret, wondering why you haven't gotten any closer to your goals. One of the hardest sacrifices to make is the one of letting go of certainty. Many of us live our lives clinging to the idea of security, but the truth is, security is an illusion. Nothing is ever guaranteed and life is always changing. If you want to be successful, you have to be willing to embrace uncertainty. You have to be willing to step into the unknown and take risks. Success requires that you let go of the idea that you can control every aspect of your life. It's about taking calculated risks, trusting the process, and having faith that the sacrifices you make today will pay off in the future. It's also important to realize that success doesn't happen overnight. It's a long-term game and it requires patience. There will be setbacks, there will be failures, and there will be times when it feels like everything is falling apart. But that's part of the sacrifice. You're sacrificing instant gratification for long-term success. You're sacrificing temporary pleasure for lasting fulfillment. At the end of the day, success is not for the faint of heart. It's not for the people who are afraid to give up what they have now for something better. It's not for those who are unwilling to make tough choices and take risks. It's for those who are willing to sacrifice their comfort, their time, their habits, and even some relationships to build a better future for themselves. Success is earned by those who are willing to pay the price. So what are you willing to sacrifice? What will you give up to achieve the greatness you've always dreamed of? The choice is yours, but remember, success demands sacrifice. The more you're willing to give up, the closer you'll get to everything you want. And trust me, when you start making those sacrifices, your future will thank you. So here's the bottom line. Escaping the illusion of power isn't about how to make it great. It's about changing how you think every single day. It's about choosing discipline over excuses. Taking responsibility instead of blaming others. And deciding that you're willing to put in the work even when it's tough. You see, success is not about time or luck. It's about consistency, persistence, and the courage to keep going when things don't look easy. Maybe you'll wait for the perfect moment to change. Start right now with the mindset you have today. Small shifts made bigger will lead to massive changes over time. The real question is, are you ready to take control of your life? Are you ready to stop feeling stuck and start moving forward? If you are, then start with one thing today, just one thing, and watch how it snowballs into bigger success. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Thank you for being here, for listening, and for committing to change. You've got what it takes to escape the loser mentality and create the life you truly deserve. Now go out there and make it happen. Keep moving forward, and I'll see you in the next one. If every minute work for you is more than a title, it's a reality check. Every day slips by faster than we realize. And once those minutes are gone, they never return. Ask yourself, how many days have ended with you saying, I could have done more? That feeling is regret, and it always comes from wasted time. You can wait for the right moods, the right energy, or the right chance. But life doesn't stop until you're ready. The clock keeps moving. If you don't control your minutes, they will control you. This message is not about rushing or being perfect. And the only thing left is what you do with it. Some people pretend to have endless time, but reality is not so good. Time has a finality to it that demands respect. When you begin to see that truth, your life changes. Because you stop treating it as cheap, and you start treating it as precious. It's easy to think you will another thing. But you can pull up today, scroll through your phone, watch a new show, watch a few hours, and then tomorrow, you're starting to do that. But tomorrow does not cancel today. Tomorrow is shaped by what you do with today. Every wasted minute creates an habit of it. Every wasted minute creates a habit. That's why all food is good for you. When you realize that wasted minutes never return, you feel the weight of your choices. You feel the urgency that most people ignore. And that urgency is the beginning of just think about regret. Many people reach the end of a day, a week, even a year, and they look back with a heavy heart. They say, I should have used my time better. They remember the opportunities they ignored. They remember the hours lost in distraction. That regret is painful because they know deep down those regrets are gone forever. You don't want to keep stacking regrets. You don't want your future self to look back and wish you had done things differently. The way to avoid that regret is simple and hard. Value every minute today. What does valuing a minute mean? It means asking yourself, is what I'm doing right now building my future or stealing from it? That's not a complicated question. It's just you know. If you are spending time on something that brings no growth, no improvement, no progress, then you are throwing away minutes you will never get back. If you are investing in something that challenges you, fuels you, or strengthens you, then you are using your minutes. But the truth is plain. Time will go somewhere, but you must decide where it goes. Most people don't realize how much time they waste until they're trapped. Try writing down how you spend every hour of your day. You'll be shocked at the empty space. Many vanish into small habits. Checking social media, gossiping, watching meaningless clips, scrolling without purpose. None of those things build anything lasting. And yet they take your minutes like a thief. The thief of time doesn't kick down your door. It whispers to you, just 5 more minutes until hours are gone. When you see it clearly, you understand the urgency of controlling your time before it steals you. Now, I'm not saying you can't rest. Rest is important, but there's a difference between resting to recharge and wasting time because you're avoiding responsibility. One restores you. The other locks you. The two is to be honest with yourself. Ask them whether it's being purpose or am I hiding for it? Facing that truth is not comfortable, but it is necessary. Because if you lie to yourself about wasted time, you'll keep losing minutes, and those minutes add up to years. Think about the value of 1 minute, and realize in 1 minute, you can speak words that change someone's care. In 1 minute, you can decide to pick up a book and start learning. In 1 minute, you can make a choice for everything. If 1 minute has that much potential, imagine what 100 perfect minutes can do. Imagine what 1,000 consistent minutes can do. That's why you must respect each one. Because when you set minutes with purpose, you build a life of meaning. Now, psychology would tell us that the human brain is wired for purpose. We want to use it. We want to save energy. That's why wasting time feels natural. Your brain says, you deserve it. But that same brain will punish you later with regret. Because it also remembers what you didn't do. There's no conflict we all face. The only way to win is to use the win. You don't catch yourself in a moment. is just how I want it. Because every minute used is a piece of your life spent. Once you see minutes as your currency, you stop throwing them away so carelessly. Imagine being at the end of your life. What do that? What will hurt more? The hard work you did, the time you wasted. Nobody regrets the hours they spent building something meaningful. They regret the time they wasted on nothing. If you take that truth now, you can save your life. You can get the life where each day counts. And that begins with today. With this minute left, the first minute is okay, and the next one can't come. Some people want the motivation before they say, you're going to feel ready, but minutes won't wait for you to feel ready. If you're ready, you're motivated. It's only when you feel like it. Most of your minutes will be wasted. Discipline means you act because the clock is ticking, not because you feel excited. That's why discipline always beats motivation. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline respects the clock. Discipline says, the minute is here, so I will use it. That is how you make progress. To make every minute work for you, you must also cut out what drains you. People, habits, and environments can steal your minutes. If you are aware of conversations that are nowhere, habits that do nothing back, and environments that keep you back, protecting your time is not magic. It is survival. You cannot live the life you want if you hand your minutes to everyone and everything that asks for them. Be selective, be frank, say no when needed. Because every yes to distraction is a no to your goals. Now let's talk about small minutes versus big minutes. People often think only big chunks of time matter. They say, I need a whole day to work on my breathing. But the truth is, small minutes practice consistency can be wasted big hours. 5 minutes of reading daily is 30 hours of knowledge in a year. 10 minutes of exercise daily is 50 hours of health in a year. The small minutes are powerful if you stop dismissing them. Don't say, it's just a minute. Say, it's my wrist in motion. That shift in perspective makes every minute count. There's also an emotional side to wasted time. Wasting time creates guilt. You know you should be doing something else. That guilt weighs on your mind and lowers your confidence. But when you use your time well, you feel proud. You end your day with satisfaction. That emotional contrast is enormous. Guilt drains you. Pride fuels you. Which do you want to carry into tomorrow? The choice is yours. You have to spend your minutes today. Many people live. They will time is over. They act like they have a way out of minutes. But deep inside, they know this is true. That's why they're creating. And zero is different. They remind us that minutes are limited. They're listed every minute. Never without end. Every day. When you feel the truth that minutes are slipping away, you stop wasting them. You choose better. You live sharper. You take action now. Not later. So how do you apply this? First, see the truth. Second, replace waste with action. It doesn't have to be big action. It just has to be meaningful. Fourth, end each day asking, do I make my minutes count? If the answer is no, it's just no. If the answer is yes, it's going. These steps are simple. They will change lives. Because they respect the reality of time. Remember, the minutes you waste today will never come back. They are gone forever. But the minutes you use with purpose will build a future you are proud of. They will compound into skills, into progress, into strength. The choice is always yours. Every minute asks you the same question. Will you waste me or will you use me? Answer wisely. Because at the end of your life, powerful truths you never practiced in your life. Discipline and mood are always in conflict. Your mood changes by the hour. One moment you feel ready to take on the world. The next moment you feel lazy, distracted, tired, or uninterested. If you only act when your mood is right, you will live a life of inconsistency. But discipline doesn't care about mood. Discipline says, I will do it whether I feel like it. That's the difference between people who achieve great results and those who stay where they are. The secret is learning to treat each minute as a chance to prove that your discipline will win over your mood. When you wake up in the morning, your mood often wants comfort. It tells you to stay in bed, to press the snooze button, to take it easy. But if you choose discipline in that very minute, you are setting the tone for your whole day. That small choice creates momentum. It signals to your mind and body that you are in control. When you practice that daily, you train yourself to become reliable to yourself. That reliability is the foundation of confidence. Because you no longer need to hope you're in a good mood. You simply know you can trust your discipline to carry you through. Think about how many dreams have been delayed or destroyed because someone waited for the right mood. A person says they'll write that book when they feel inspired. They'll work out when they feel motivated. They'll start that business when they feel confident. And because those moods come and go, they never build the discipline to keep moving forward. The result is years of waiting, frustration, and regret. But the person lives in the progress of mood, ends up with progress, growth, and a life that moves forward steadily. That person proves every minute that discipline is stronger. Discipline is not about being harsh with yourself. It's about respecting the fact that time is passing. Whether you're ready or not, every minute, either used or lost. If you waste it waiting for a move, it's gone. But if you use it with discipline, even small actions compound into huge changes. For example, if you commit to reading 10 minutes a day, no matter how you feel, then you use it for hours and hours of practice. If you commit to exercising for just 20 minutes daily, regardless of mood, your health and energy will transform. That's the reward of discipline. It multiplies your effort over time. There will be days when your mood screams at you to quit. It will say you're too tired, too stressed, too unmotivated. That's when discipline becomes your weapon. You don't argue with your feelings. You don't negotiate with laziness. You act
Oh, man.
you build a strong
Nice. Getting through it.
And you start seeing yourself as someone who does what's necessary, no matter what. That identity is powerful because it frees you from being a slave to emotions. Human psychology is simple here. Feelings are temporary. If you let temporary feelings dictate your life, you'll never see lasting results. But if you let lasting results drive your actions, your feelings will eventually adjust. In fact, many times your mood changes after you start doing the work. You begin in resistance, but 5 minutes later you're in flow. The mistake most people make is waiting for flow before they start. Discipline teaches you to start first, and let your mood catch up later. Every area of life rewards discipline. Relationships, careers, health, learning. All of them thrive when discipline is stronger than mood. In relationships, discipline means choosing patience over irritation, even when your mood wants to snap back. In careers, discipline means doing the task thoroughly, even when you feel bored. In health, discipline means exercising, even when you feel like staying on the couch. Each minute you choose discipline, you separate yourself from the masses who are run by their moods. You create a pattern of reliability that builds trust, not only with yourself, but with others. People notice when you're dependable. Opportunities come to those who can be counted on. And discipline is what creates that trust. There's something deeply empowering about knowing that your life is not controlled by the ups and downs of your emotions. Everyone feels lazy sometimes. Everyone feels unmotivated sometimes. But not everyone leaves themselves to act anyway. The people who rise above are the ones who prove, minute by minute, that their actions are led by choice. You can train yourself to be that person. Every time you overlap your mood, it's like building a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. One way to practice this is to create non-negotiable standards for yourself. Decide ahead of time what actions must be done each day. Regardless of how you feel, this means the need to ask yourself, do I feel like it? Because the decision is already made. You don't debate with your mood. You simply follow the standard you set. Over time, this reduces wasted energy and eliminates hesitation. Your decision becomes automatic. You stop giving power to fleeting moods. And you start living by principles. Think about professional athletes. Do you think they feel motivated every day is the same? No, many days they don't want to. Their discipline takes over. They know that their performance depends on consistent preparation. Not occasional use. The same applies to you. Whether you feel it in business, education, personal development, or anything else, the principle remains the same. Consistency beats mood. Consistency is born from discipline. And discipline is proven every minute you act against it.
Getting it now.
Here's the
Well
truth.
done.
If you let moods
3 month
decide,
process, almost ready
your
for
life
the
will stay
primer.
unpredictable. Some days will be productive, others waste. But if you let discipline decide, your life becomes steady, reliable, and powerful. People respect steadiness. The world rewards reliability. And your own self-respect grows when you see yourself keeping promises. Despite resistance, that self-respect is priceless because it becomes the root of all confidence. Many people wait for motivation videos, quotes, or speeches.
It's like the feeling of standing up on the top of a
Once in
mountain,
while, but it's not a strategy.
looking at the view.
Strategy is built on discipline. Discipline doesn't need hype. It doesn't need external fuel. It needs commitment. You already
Been a
have
rough few
the
months.
You just need to stop waiting for the right fuel. You need to prove again and again that your discipline will show up when your mood doesn't. The beauty of this practice is that discipline itself creates better moods. When you use minutes with discipline, you feel proud afterward. That pride improves your mood far, far than giving in to laziness ever could. Lying in bed might feel good for a few minutes, but finishing your work feels good for hours. Discipline gives you that lasting satisfaction. It gives you a sense of control. It makes you believe in yourself because you see proof that you can act without waiting for the perfect emotional state. The best way to test yourself is to notice the next time you say, I don't feel like it. That's the signal. That's the moment when your discipline must take over. That's the battlefield where you either prove your strength or give. Each time you push through, you get a piece of yourself back. You prove that you are the driver, not the passenger. You prove that your will is stronger than your feelings. And when you stack enough of those victories, you build a powerful foundation for your life. Life is short. It moves come and go like the wind. But discipline is something you can build, minute by minute, until it becomes your anchor. It's the tool that allows you to keep going when others stop. It's the force that transforms ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. Every time you use a minute to prove
Ready for a splash of water.
stronger than mood, you are rewriting the story of your life. You
Oh
are
yeah,
yourself in the
that's
world.
it for me for today on the Sandy.
With your time, with your goals, and with your future.
Been over 2 hours. Well, I think it started right away, so
The discipline creates trinity.
yeah, about 2 hours.
Not your feelings.
So this will make good
Your
footage
choices, not your
for
moods.
my
Will
walkthrough.
define your legacy from this moment forward. Treat every minute as a
Yeah.
time. Will you let mood dictate your
Not the
actions?
funnest
Or will you
project
rise above and prove
needed to be
discipline is
done.
stronger? If you choose discipline, minute after minute, you will build a life that stands tall, steady, and unshakable. And when you look back years from now, you will not regret wasted moves. You will be proud of the discipline.
That's right, Jim Brown, preach it.
Number 3, stop letting comfort steal the minutes meant for growth. Every day, you and I face this choice. Comfort whispers to stay where you are, to do what feels good.
So I
to
will
avoid effort, to avoid
wrap it up today on the sanding. I'll get back on live later. I gotta do a leg workout.
requires struggle.
And then,
Requires energy, focus, and
I don't know,
persistence.
maybe tomorrow after my
Confidence
interview, I'll
to
do the
place
finishing touches on the sanding and ready to start
each minute is
primering
either
next
taken
week.
by comfort or invested in growth.
I actually like painting.
The quality of your life. Comfort Comfort is dangerous because it's
Worst things to do in the world than scraping paint and sand and drywall, but it's
eating for pleasure.
not been a very happy few months doing this
sleeping
stuff.
longer than they need. None of these actions seem destructive in the moment. But every minute
Thanks for the likes, everybody.
It's stolen from your future.
Yesterday, nobody stopped in when I was standing. It's been going on for 2 days.
To create, to strengthen
If you're in the
yourself.
chat
Comfort steals silently.
or on my channel, hope you're having a good day. You want to go grab some water and I'll be back up.
That's when regret comes. Not because comfort gave you something, but because it robbed you of growth. Growth is uncomfortable by nature. Reading when your mind wants entertainment. Working out when your body wants rest. Practicing a skill when your mood wants distraction. These moments never feel easy, yet they are the exact moments that shape your character and abilities. The path of growth is filled with resistance because you are forcing yourself beyond what is familiar, and that discomfort is the signal that you are moving forward. When you give in to comfort, you surrender that chance. You choose to stay the same. Every great achievement requires a sacrifice of comfort. The student who earns knowledge sacrifices hours of leisure. The entrepreneur who builds something new sacrifices easy evenings. The person who transforms their body sacrifices indulgent habit. There is no way around it. You cannot live in comfort and expect growth. You cannot have both at the same time. Comfort belongs to now. Growth belongs to the future. When you understand that truth, you begin to treat comfort as the thief it is. One of the hardest truths about comfort is that it never satisfies. Comfort is temporary. After a few minutes, you crave more of it. You sink deeper into laziness, deeper into distraction. Growth works differently. Growth is hard in the moment, but rewarding afterward. After you push through the discomfort, you feel pride, strength, and energy. Force leaves you feeling weaker.
Ooh,
Growth
looking good.
leaves you feeling stronger.
Looking a lot better.
How you feel after each choice
This
should be
spot real
enough to make
quick.
you wary of comfort. Ask yourself how many hours you've lost to things that did nothing for your life.
Saw
Those hours
some
are
scratches.
And the worst part is
We'll work out real quick. I'm pretty much done for the day though.
it's harmless relaxation. But if your relaxation turns into hours of wasted time, it is no longer rest. It is
A lot of times I can't see that good with those safety glasses on either. This stuff falls on my face, so
and leaves you with
I like to get the safety glasses on.
But natural does not mean right. If you always follow the path of least resistance,
Better.
you will never see how much potential you truly have. Growth demands that you act against your instincts. It demands that you confront your
Yeah, I'll come back
comfort and
tomorrow or maybe even Sunday.
that I are stronger than
I'll,
your impulses. That proof builds confidence.
Do some finishing touches on the sanding.
Think of the difference in results between the two people. One spends their evenings
Take too long. I got the majority.
on social media, eating with
Primer hides a lot of this anyway.
things on growth, studying,
If there is any imperfections.
working on goals, building skills. After one evening, the difference is small, but after one year, the gap is enormous.
So huge mistake
The other has invested.
doing the 120
One
grit
feels
screen.
regret, the other feels pride. Both had the same minutes, but comfort
Left scratches everywhere.
while discipline.
But the 120 sponge that was worn down
Comfort is not
works
just
just
wasted
fine.
time. It's wasted potential.
220 on the screen
Until you fight against comfort.
and 120 on the sponge worked pretty good for me on that.
That goal
The
you never
majority of the
achieved.
room.
It was
Got
not
sanded
just
with 3 tools.
comfort, but comfort kept you from reaching. Comfort tells you to
Items,
pain.
whatever you want to call it. So,
The pain of growth is far lighter.
so we had the
And the pain of regret lasts much longer.
120 screen.
Eliminate all comfort,
The screen is at 80, but it's worn down. That was pretty tough for spots, and
but
then this
never
is
let
a
rest turn into a skill.
120
Use comfort
here.
as a tool, not as a
Whatever.
lifestyle. Growth must remain your priority.
Difference in the
Good
two.
habits that replace
One
wasted
got in
minutes
tighter
with
spots a little
productive minutes.
better.
Set standards
All I really
for
needed.
that comfort cannot break. For example, decide that each day you will study.
most part. That's all I needed.
Exercise for 30 minutes.
I'd say this is probably
That moves you forward. By creating these
180 maybe, somewhere up there. Even if it's a 120, it's worn the heck down. So I just use that for finishing touches on a few spots. Doesn't look like anybody's in here, so I'm going to shut this down. I'm thankful to the few that stopped in, and that's all I've got for now. I'm going to get cleaned up, and
that simple question can shift your actions. People often underestimate what's...
I'm going to get cleaned up for sure at first. Get cleaned up for the day, go for a walk, and then I may sit up in the weight room and do a leg workout tonight and talk to anybody if they stop in. So I'm in a struggle with the leg workout on the weight machine versus calisthenics. I saw better benefits, I feel like, calisthenic leg squats, lunges, calf raises, and another exercise. I don't even know what they call it, but I just know how to do it. So on the legs, but tonight I will be on the weight machine for a while. All right, well, if anybody's in here, I'm taking off for now. I'll be back on later, so feel free to subscribe on my 4th day live streaming. Channel's been bouncing all over right now, so that's just the way it is. I'm just covering different things in my videos, so more so just being happy to meet some people. So I'm out of here. Have a good day.